Hey, Eagle Run 23 here. I have a cheap Target kitchen knife. Alright, let's sharpen this thing. We'll take a look at it first here. So, this morning, my wife used this terrible knife to cut an orange for me. So, I realized that it did not cut an orange very nicely, and it was time to sharpen it. Now, this is a very cheap knife. It was a gift. I don't know who we got it from. If you're watching, I'm sorry if I'm insulting you, but these knives are just a couple of dollars. You can buy them in all sorts of different colors, and this one is pink. Okay, I'm going to show you here on paper what we're going to do with this knife. Before we get any further though, please click the subscribe button if you like this content. I have lots of knife sharpening videos. I'll have a playlist here at the end of the video that you can check out. Some of my other videos on knife sharpening. I have a Tech Studios Profile Russian knife sharpener, and we also use a freehand whetstone like we're going to use today. So we're going to show the view from this angle right here on paper. So you've got the body of your knife that comes up. In this case, it has little strawberries on it. And then you have the bevel, which comes to a point. Now, what we're going to do today is we are going to remove metal here and here in order to polish this surface, in order to increase the tip right here. Now, what happens on knives is when you sharpen too much on one side or the other, then you start to play with the angles of what's happening here on the end. What we need to pay special attention to is equal on both sides, equal strokes, equal pressure, and bringing this knife to the best tip possible. This is cheap steel. It will not hold an edge for very long, but we can sharpen it up and make it usable. Right now this knife has lots of nicks and dings across the tip, across the edge, and that is just a testament of the quality of steel that is used, also probably the amount of care that has been taken to a cheap plastic kitchen knife. Okay, so we are going to freehand sharpen this knife today. This is a two-sided whetstone that I picked up on Amazon. I have had this in my collection for several years. It's sharpened lots of knives, and we're going to use it freehand today. Now because we're just repairing a few nicks, we are going to start on the coarse side and get a few strokes in and see if we can repair some of that damage. There are some good nicks, but I think this steel is probably soft enough that it's not going to give us too much trouble. Alright, so I've got a little bit of oil here on the stone. You can use water, you can use a soapy water mix. Today I'm using a little shot of oil, which will help to remove the metal shavings and let us know what we're doing. Alright, I'm going to find my angle and try to maintain that across the entire edge. So I can tell by looking right here. Let's see if I can get that edge in the light. So as I go across the edge here, I can tell that I'm removing quite a bit of metal. It's pretty rough, and I'm able to maintain that angle across the edge. Do a couple of more strokes here. One of the things I like to do is run my fingernail across the edge. When I feel some nicks, I know that I've got more work to do, and right there is still a little bit rough. Alright, we are smooth all the way across. Alright, we have switched over to the fine side. Now we are going to do the polishing on the bevel and move that burr to the final spot. Much smoother on this side. This is where we're doing our polishing. I'm going to maintain about 8 strokes on each side so that I'm pretty consistent. The edge feels nice and smooth. I can tell by the shine that we are getting a nice polish on there. We're going to keep going here, probably 3 or 4 more times on each side, and then I'll show you the before and after. Okay, so when you're working with a stone that just has a fine and a coarse, you're not going to get the mirror finish that you would get with something a little bit finer. I do have some whetstones that are finer, but this is kind of a first time attempt for someone who wants to try this out. This is a cheap kitchen knife. If you ruin it, no big deal. But realistically, you're probably not going to mess anything up. Now, you could spend a lot of time making sure that the bevel is a perfect degree, and we're able to do that on our Tech Studios profile knife sharpener. But when you're doing it freehand, there's kind of I don't know, a therapeutic quality to it where you're just you and the knife, and you can kind of roll that edge a little bit and kind of make it where it comes to a nice point. We're going to get out the orange now and see how we've done. So an orange isn't something that's very difficult to cut, but I could definitely tell that after it broke through the first layer there, that it just dove through the orange in a different way than it did when I cut it on the before shot. Alright, this is Eagle Run 23. Thank you for watching. Please check out our other videos and subscribe. We'll see you next time.